Welcome to another episode of This Old Hooptie, where I take this piece of crap and try and make it into something a little more pretty, I hope. That includes the engine bay, transmission, engine wiring, etc. In today's video, we're going to try and make this engine a little better than it was before. I got it working. I know you guys, the ones who watched the short, everything was working, no more hesitation. Why on earth would you rip the wiring out that you just did? Well, instead of looming up that wiring and just leaving a big mess on top, since I put all that time week after week fixing that wiring, I figured I would buy a wiring harness which will look better, that I can tuck and hide, and probably change out that intake as well so it looks a little bit better. On this truck, I'm going to be starting in the engine bay, and then I will end with painting. I still have every intention of doing the metal flake paint job on the other truck, but since this truck is already in here and I really want to learn more about the LS engine, this is what I'm going to dedicate some time to right now, so I hope you can understand that. Let's dig into the truck. We have the Hooker Blackheart LS Swap S10 headers. We got the pipe connections, we got new gaskets, and we have the LS swapped steering shaft over here. Got a little cutter here so I can cut the exhaust. Let me show you why. Come on. All right, I believe I may or may not have mentioned it before, but the headers are completely dinged in and banged up on this side, and as you can see, they're rubbing right into the steering shaft. Let me give you a better view of that over here. Okay, as you guys can see, right over here, the steering shaft is being eaten away as it spins against the headers. And you can see over here that these have been cut and re-welded to try and make them fit. You'll notice here that those welds are all cracking. That's why I picked up all this stuff. Okay, let's start getting this thing pulled apart and swap out those headers. Come on. We're gonna try and take this out here through the wheel well, and I'm gonna cut the exhaust just past where the O2 sensors are. That way I can reuse that pipe there and then reconnect it after I've got the new headers on. Let's get started. So one of the reasons for doing this, as you can see, I cannot get a socket on this one or this back one here. I can't even change these plugs. And the plugs needed to be changed. These were all fouled out on both sides and the ones in the front here. So after swapping these out, the truck definitely ran a lot better. So I would like to swap these two out, and I can't. And of course, you see all the damage over here. So, all right, let's start with the bolts we can get to. All right, there really is not a lot of space over here. I'm gonna take the steering shaft off so I can get that nut and that nut because I can't get to them. Give me a second. We're losing daylight. I'm gonna close that door so the mosquitoes stop getting in here. Let's get our bolt out the top here. There we go. Hopefully I can just collapse this. But I don't think I'll be able to since it's actually rubbing against here. No. I'm gonna have to get this off over here. Okay. You guys watch that bolt right there. When the head comes over here, let me know. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can buzz this thing off real quick. All right, we're gonna need 2 hands and some gentle persuasion. There we go. So as you guys can see, that header was literally eating into the steering shaft. So that's one of the main reasons why we're changing both of these parts. Okay, so this is our old steering shaft with the rag joint there. As you can see, it's beat to hell and there's a ton of play. And this is our new Hooker Blackheart S10 steering shaft. Okay guys, as usual, the links for all the stuff that I'm using will be in the description below or off to the side, so if you need it, go and get it. Let's get back to getting these off. O2 sensors right here. We got a little zip tie over there. Just gotta cut that. There we go. Okay guys, I'm going to section this tailpipe right here. That way I can reconnect it after the fact. Once I've removed the header, I'll hook up the new headers to what's left of this pipe. Let's get that cut off. All right, to get this off, I'm going to use a exhaust pipe cutter. Link for this stuff is in the description, as I said before. What we're going to do is we're going to hook it around the pipe like this. And then we're going to cinch it down to the closest one that we can. So that is going to be this one right there. There we go. So now, let me get this to exactly where I want the cut to be, which is going to be right here. That way I can section them back together. I'm going to give it a little bit of a squeeze, and then I'm going to start my cuts. As I'm squeezing, twisting, so it digs in, just like cutting copper pipe. Let's get it up on this one, open it up nice and wide, get it hooked on the next set of jaws. Let's get it back in the groove. There we go. And same thing, give it a squeeze and keep on twisting. There we go. All right, our O2 sensor is in a grabbable location over here. Let's get that off. There we go. Okay. Wow, that was easier than I thought it would be. One down, two to go. Oh, that could not have gone easier. Hello. Very nice. All right, guys, so this is the prize. It's got the O2 bung on here. I'm gonna need to cut this end off here and put the other one on. I've got new gaskets. We're gonna use these right over here and the new gaskets over there. So let's just hold on to this for now. There we go. Look at that, Christmas time. All right, now let's get a look at these. All right, so as you can see, these are pretty much beaten in half. This one here that's cut in half, you can see that weld is completely cracked all the way around there. And that is gonna be replaced by that. Okay, let's test fit it and see what it's gonna look like. It's the driver's side right here. Okay guys, as you can see, I can get to all the plugs very easily now. For right now, I'm just gonna get a nut or two on here to hold this into place so we can do some more test fitting. I don't even have the gasket on there yet, so this is just so I can do a test fit and see what it looks like with the steering shaft in. Give me a second. All right, as you can see now, there is a ton of space. I've got enough space to run my hand in between the entire header here. Now that we've test fit, I'm gonna pull it back apart, get the gaskets on, and get this assembled right. I'm gonna save you guys the headache of watching me do battle with those 3 bolts on the collector. I'm gonna get those off, and then we'll get back to fitting the new hooker headers onto the heads. Be right back. Oh, there we go. Now, most of you guys know more than me about engines and whatnot, but I'm pretty sure that means there was an exhaust leak here and here, due to the fact that it shouldn't be up at the top here because it would be closed if it was completely tight. You know, like this. Maybe I'm wrong. Leave something in the comments down below if I am, but that's the way I understand it. While I have the ability to get behind the starter, I'm going to replace all this wire, clean up the loom and all that stuff, get this situated before I get my headers in, get everything all clean. Let's do that. So, why am I taking all the wiring off? Because it's a freaking mess. I have a new wiring harness that I'm going to slap on this one. That way I can use the one that I repinned over to here. So that way this will be all cleaned up with the new headers, new pipes, everything connected, engine bay done and clean. I also want the ECU or PCM, whatever you want to call it, behind the dash in here. So when I work on the interior of this truck, it'll be all buttoned up. So the goal is to get the engine done so I can close the hood and not have to pay attention to anything in there anymore. So I'm going to get everything reconnected wire-wise, and then get the new headers popped on there. And hopefully that will all be in this video. Let's keep moving. For a better understanding, I don't want all this here. I don't want this bracket welded to the inside here. I want this inside the cab behind the dash where the other one is. So I'm gonna rerun all of this stuff.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
All right, we got our headers on. Okay, new headers are on both sides. As you can see, I can literally stick my fingers in between the A-arms, in between the frame. There is just tons of space on the passenger side. Same thing on the driver. Lots of space over here, lots of space for the new steering shaft, which we're gonna get in next. So the only issue I did find is this bolt with this large attached washer. So I'm gonna have to change this to a head without a washer here. That holds in the dipstick tube here on the passenger side. This here sticks out too far. It touches this. So I can either grind this down or just replace it with another bolt and call it a day. Other than that, they are a perfect fit. See, doesn't go past the header there. So that's the only thing that I've found that doesn't work so far. Little sneak peek of the new wires and the heat shields. 30 years ago, that was my baby, and it will be once again. So like I said at the beginning of the video, in case you guys missed it, I'm sure some of you aren't gonna understand why I just pulled apart a perfectly working engine to redo things. And the reasoning behind that, like I said, is I want it to be a bit cleaner, and I fully wanted to understand what was going on in the engine, how the wires connect, how they interact with the ECU, etc. And now I do. So I feel a lot more comfortable working on the engine. I'm already comfortable with the painting. So on this one, we're gonna do the engine first, and then once again, we'll get back to the painting. Before I paint this one, I will continue the 3-stage paint job on the now black truck out front. I promise you that. And that's gonna bring us to the end of another video. You guys know what to do. Like it if you like, don't if you don't, subscribe to keep up with my latest shenanigans, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.